Welcome back for part 8 of installing and configuring Windows Server 2016. In this episode, we're going to look at using the Office Online Server, formerly called WAC, or the Office Web App Server, with SharePoint 2016. The first thing you need to do is turn on your pfSense VM that acts as our router. Then we're going to turn on our DC1, DC2, and our SP2016 VM. If you're just joining us, follow along and you can learn to set up the Office Online Server for SharePoint. And in the next video, we're going to be installing Exchange 2016. The video following that, we will be configuring the Office Online Server with Exchange 2016. We're going to make a clone of our master image. And we're going to call that OOS for Office Online Server. So right click on Master, Manage, click Clone, click Next. The current state is fine. We want to create a linked clone to save disk space. We're going to save it on our SSD drive. And we're going to name it OOS. Alright, so that's been created. We're going to go ahead and power it on. And remember to check your network setting to make sure that you're connected to the lab network. And just like in the previous episodes, we've had to configure the 2016 with these initial few questions about our language and creating a password. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. And after we log in, we're going to name this OOS as well. And we can assign the static IP of 172.16.0.7. That's the next available address if you've been following our IP scheme here in the lab. So Office Online Server, it is only available if you've purchased Microsoft Office Professional Plus 2016 through volume licensing. Through your Volume License Service Center, you'll see a download for it. After we get this new VM joined to the domain, we'll log into the Volume License Service Center, download the ISO, mount it, and start installing the prerequisites. Wrong button. So Office Web Apps 2013, it was available as a general download to the public. With 2016, they've changed that to where you can only have access to it through volume licensing. Through volume licensing, you have the option to enable editing rights on the Office Online Server or not enable editing. For the lab, we're going to be turning editing on so you can see the full benefit of it. So we've got this joined to the domain, we've got our static IP set, we've got the firewall turned off. The next thing we're going to do is reboot the server and then download the ISO from volume licensing. So when the VM comes back up, we're going to log in as the domain administrator. And before we configure the Web Apps Farm, we're going to download the latest Windows updates. The initial version of Office Online Server 2016 does not support Windows Server 2016. So when I first did this lab as a test, I had to use 2012 R2, and that was because the ink and handwriting recognition service, it's automatically included in Server 2016, but with 2012 R2 you have to install it. And where the original ISO build was looking for it, there was no way to get past that error. But luckily they finally released a version that recognizes ink and handwriting is installed and doesn't make you install that prerequisite. So we're going to go ahead and sign into volume licensing. So once logged into Volume License Service Center, select Downloads and Product Keys, choose Office, and then choose Office Professional Plus 2016. And we're actually going to click Download, which brings us to this little section down here. So we can tell it Delivery or Download Manager or Web Browser. I just prefer using Web Browser. Choose 32/64-bit, then click Continue. And once the page refreshes, you'll see several options down here. The one we're looking for is Office Online Server 64-bit English. So we're going to go ahead and click Download. And I'm going to save this on the desktop. Alright, so we have that downloaded, so let's go ahead and open the folder. We can double click on it and run setup just to see what prereqs it's going to ask us for. So it's wanting IIS 7 with ASP.NET 4.0. Let's go ahead and get those installed by opening up Server Manager. Choose Web-Server. We'll install ASP.NET 4.6. And also Windows Identity Foundation. Alright, so the installation succeeded. Let's go ahead and run setup again. Accept the terms. Install. This installation goes pretty quick. Once it installs, we're going to run Windows Update. So let's go ahead and go into Control Panel. Let's make sure that the firewall's off again. It is. So we've got the Office Online Server installed. Let's go to Start and type Update. Let's choose Update and Security. Let's go to Advanced Options and choose Give me updates for other Microsoft products when I update Windows. And go ahead and click Check for Updates. So while we're still waiting on updates, let's go ahead and open up a PowerShell session as an administrator. So this command I just pasted, I'm going to put in the comment section of the video. This is a quick way to make sure you have all the prereqs installed using Server 2016. So after your updates have installed, let's go ahead and log back in. And let's check for updates one more time. Alright, so we're up to date. Let's go ahead and let's open PowerShell as an administrator. So what we're going to do now is create the Web Apps Farm, and to do that there's just a few commands that we have to put in. So I always like to import the module for Office Web Apps before putting in any commands. That way there's no problem with PowerShell. So this is the command, and then we're going to type in new -office web apps farm space dash internal URL space quote http:// OOS quote space -allow HTTP space editing enabled if your Microsoft Volume licensing allows it, and then press enter. So setting editing enabled to true. You should only do this if your users of this Office Online server have licenses that permit editing with Office Online. Continue with this operation, and if your licensing does allow it, choose Y for yes. Alright, so we can see here the configuration. So our internal URL, allow HTTP is true. You can see all the different variables here you could put. So the next thing we're going to do is make sure that it's actually working, and to do that we're going to open up Internet Explorer and just type in http://OOS/hosting/discovery, and it should bring up an XML file, which it did, and this has all the different Office programs, the WAPI bindings. So now we're going to go ahead and move on over to SharePoint, and we're going to configure it to work with the Office Online server. Go back here, log in as the domain administrator, and we're going to open PowerShell as an administrator. And the command we're going to put in here is going to be new -spwopibinding space -server name space OOS space -allow HTTP. For some reason I always type that wrong. And the reason we're getting this error is because I told you to open PowerShell instead of SharePoint Management Shell. So if you go back to SharePoint, right click on Management Shell, run as administrator, we're going to enter the same command. So it takes us just a minute to connect to the SharePoint store. Alright, so we have that connected, so we're going to type new -spwopi binding space -server name space OOS space -allow HTTP and press enter. So you can see all the WAPI bindings going across the screen: Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So that's what makes the connection. So now we're going to view the bindings to make sure they're correct. So to view the bindings, we're going to type get-spwopi zone. And it's stating internal HTTPS, but if you remember, we set this up as HTTP for now. So what we're going to do is type set -spwopi zone space -zone space quote internal -HTTP quote enter. And so we can check it again by entering get spwopi zone, and now it's internal HTTP. So one thing that I quickly learned with doing this lab is if you're logged in as the administrator or a system account, the Office Web Apps or Office Online Server does not work correctly. So we're going to create another account in Active Directory. Oh, wrong button. I'm just going to call it SP test. And from our SharePoint farm, I'm going to give that account access to our main documents. Probably going to have to refresh the page since it's been up for a while. So we're going to go to library shared with, and we're going to do invite people. And we're going to type SP test, and it found the account because it highlighted it, and we're going to give this person full control, and we're going to hit share. Alright. So here we could open in private browsing. Hopefully this will work. Let's just open Chrome. Let's download Chrome on here. That's going to be the quickest way to get this going. Actually, instead of that, let's just log in as that user on this machine. So I did Control Insert, switch user. So from the SharePoint VM, I logged in as SP test. And I'm going to go to http:// SP2016. But we're receiving this error because I only shared the documents and not the whole site. So I'm going to switch user, go back as the administrator. And we're going to go to home, click share, invite people. and we're going to type sp-test, and we're going to give them owners, which is full control and share. Then we're going to go back, switch user again, log back in as sp-test, and we're just going to go back and refresh the page. Alright, so now we have access. We're logged on as sp-test. Let's do new. Now we have the option for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or OneNote. Before, we only had the option to upload a file when we click new. So if you click Word document, it's going to bring up Word Online. This used to say Office Web Apps in previous versions. And you're able to type in here, do file, save as. You can rename it, download a copy, download it as a PDF, as an ODT file. And there's no save button because we're automatically saving your document. So all you have to do is when you're finished, just click back. Then in your document library, you'll see the document here. To edit it, you can click on it. It brings it up in preview. And then you can click edit document, and then you have the option to edit in Word on your computer or edit in browser, and there you have it. So there's a couple other options you can do with the web app or Office Online Server. Picture paste disabled is true. I would recommend changing that to false. Open from URL enabled is false. Change that to true. Okay, so online picture enabled is false and online video enabled is false. Change that to enabled, and what it will do, those two features replace the clip art enabled feature, which is still listed there, but it doesn't work. And that basically gives you an option here to go online using Bing image and video search to insert videos and images into your document. So that's how you install Office Online Server and establish a connection internally with HTTP. So it's very similar commands using HTTPS. I would recommend a wildcard certificate. It makes things a lot easier. That concludes this video. In the next one, we're going to be setting up SharePoint or Exchange 2016, and then in the following one, we'll be connecting Exchange with the Office Online Server, and then we'll connect all three together, and you can kind of see how that workflow is a smooth transition between all three different applications. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please like it if you found this helpful. Comment. Tell me your thoughts. If you have any suggestions, leave them in comments for me. Thanks for watching.